Welcome back to the Game Smash Podcast, and as always, I'm your host, William Liberty, and with me is...
Fawaz Muhammad Yusuf.
And today we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got Division details, we've got Alex revealed for Street Fighter V, we got Battleborn details Season Pass, we got Sony gives price details for PSVR and release date, Automatron official trailer for Fallout 4, and new Hearthstone expansion, The Whisper of the Old Gods. But before we go into that, let's talk about what we played this week. So remember that big list I was talking about of games I need to finish?
Yeah, you working it down, or you added more games to it?
Nope, I'm actually working it down. I've got another one beat. I beat it a little bit quicker than I thought I was. It was the Shadowrun game I was talking about a while ago.
Oh, that's surprising.
And I actually really enjoyed it. Like overall, it's a really good game. Like, it's a really good sort of, like, tactical RPG. Like, all that kind of stuff.
Well, you did say you loved those, so...
Yeah, I did say I loved those. But I will admit, like, at the end, I was kind of, like, sad, not because, like, you know, I thought that, the game sucked or anything like that. I actually missed the characters, because I was like, man, these characters are actually pretty awesome. And there's four... Like, there's four, like, characters that are in your group, and I was just like, man, it's like, I kind of wish the game was a little bit longer, just so I got to, like, interact with the characters a little bit more, because they were really well written. But overall, it was a really good game. And there was probably a couple missions that I missed because I did a big story mission, and I think that just kind of set all the ending missions into play. So
okay. You hit the point of no return. The game didn't warn you for the.
I think the game kind of made it a bit obvious that it was the point of no return, but it just didn't click. After
I'm sure I could turn back after this.
Yeah, I really did. For whatever reason, I was just like, I'll be, and then like, oh no, that was a mistake.
Oh my god, that is beautiful.
And other than that, I just played some more Twilight Princess HD. Love that game, so good. It's kind of funny. I guess if I had to describe my experience with it, it's kind of like you watch an old movie, and then there's a Blu-ray release. And you can notice all the shit in the background that you couldn't notice before because the video quality was a little bit meh. Like, it's kind of like that. Like, it's really interesting because it's like, I was walking through one of the dungeons and I was like, are those paintings of actual characters? Like, I didn't actually notice that in the GameCube versions.
That is hilarious.
So, I actually think it's really cool. I'm just discovering a bunch of new stuff. But that's what I played this week. What about you, Fawaz?
Oh, I played the free game for the month, Broforce.
Ah, okay, nice.
Yeah, I figured, might as well give it a shot. Okay, so, it's weird, right? The core gameplay of Broforce is actually a lot of fun. It's like a Contra-type shooter. Yeah. Like side-scroller, shoot-'em-up, bullet hell type stuff. Lots of explosions happening. Two things absolutely kill that game for me. The first one is kind of annoying. Like, it's something that I could probably work through. So how it works is that there's a ton of bros in the game. I actually don't know how many, but I'm pretty sure it's nearing, like, the hundreds. There is a ton of bros in this game. And you unlock them as the game goes on, right? Now, the issue I have is whenever you pick up an extra life, you can't select your bro.
Yeah, it's random.
Yeah, whenever you start a level, it randomly selects a bro for you. Whenever you pick up an extra life, it switches bros, and whenever you die, it randomly selects another bro for you. I absolutely hate this because the bros are different. Like Bro Blade, or how I can't remember the broification of his name. But anyway, it's Blade, Wesley Snipes, right?
Yeah.
He can't shoot. He just has a sword and he runs around slashing people. I hate him. I absolutely hate him. I haven't figured out how to use him yet. Then you've got McGrew Bro, who who throws like TNT and stuff like that. He also can't shoot. He's also weird and requires some adjusting too. And like just the game forcing me to learn these characters on the fly, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. However, that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem, and it's funny, this might sound small in comparison, but the biggest problem for me is that there's no music in the game.
What?
There's actually no music. You're playing the stages and no music is playing in the background. Now, maybe it's just for like the first few stages. I beat, I think, 6 or 7 stages, but stages are really short. So,
that cannot be true, because I swear to God, I've watched gameplay of the game, and it's had, like, I'm not saying that the background music is, like, ginormously obvious, but there has to be some background music.
I'm telling you, maybe my version was bugged. Maybe, like, I was playing the tutorial area and there is no music in the tutorial area, but I was just playing it and it was dead silent.
All right, you know, we're doing it live. I'm looking up a clip right now because I am flabbergasted by that.
And like this thing, I like, you know, I looked at this game sort of like a sort of like a Super Time Force Ultra, right, or a Hotline Miami type game.
Right.
That you replay the stages and all that stuff, and I'm like, if there is no music, I'm like, it just kills it for me. It just absolutely killed it for me. So I might, you know, give the game a little bit more.
One more, just 1 sec for us. I'm just gonna listen to something. No, there is totally background music. I mean, it's not like super, super loud, but it is there.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I played the game, and there was no background music in the stages that I played. And if there was, it was very monotonous because I couldn't hear it. I couldn't make it out. It wasn't, and it's a pity because this game is like an ode to like 80s action heroes, right?
Yeah.
So there's some really, I was looking forward to having some really, really cheesy
80s music.
80s music playing while I killed a bunch of terrorists and shit. But unfortunately, like, the only music I got was as I got on the helicopter, the music started playing, and then that was that. So yeah, you know, I'll
There is, but just to clarify, there is background music in the game. It's probably just not loud enough to be, you know, super noticeable. Like, it is there. Like, it's not like Super Hot, in which there is literally no music.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, I can see what you mean, though. Like, having a more bombastic soundtrack, though, would probably be more in this game's favor, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, but that was what I played. I gave it a bit of a shot. I did not enjoy it, as you can probably tell, but maybe I'll give it another try.
Yeah, see if you can boot up some levels, because that seems so bizarre that the game has no music.
Yeah.
But let's get into some news. So Division released a bunch of details about new content and the season pass. So this includes like free incursions, and the bunch of expansions are on the way called like the Underground, Survival, and the Last Stand. They've hinted at some, you know, loot trading mechanics and whatnot. But I'm interested to what you thought about just these DLC details in general.
Well, I thought it was pretty cool. The game just launched last week, and it's apparently the biggest. It's set a new record for the biggest first week for a new franchise. It broke the record that was previously held by another shoot and loot RPG that we shall not name on this podcast for the benefit of some of our listeners. However, the critical reception of The Division has been a lot more positive than that other RPG that we shall not list on this podcast. Now, in terms of the free content that they were talking about, it actually sounds really, really interesting. First of all, there's the incursions, which are pretty much the equivalent of raids that they've been teasing them for a very long time, and people have been have been asking them about it during the pre-release. Right before the game released, they kept asking them about raids, and they refused to talk about it. So these are pretty much the equivalent of raids. Okay. We don't know too much. We don't have too many details about how they're going to play out, but they sound pretty cool. They also said that they're quote unquote changing the way we play in the dark zone. I have no idea what that means, but more power to them. And loot trading. Loot trading is another really cool thing that they're adding. It's a pity that it wasn't there at launch, but hey, they're adding it as a free update, so cool stuff. Gear sets. They also said they're gonna add gear sets. Okay. More Dark Zone features. Once again, I have no idea what that actually means. They're gonna add daily and weekly challenges, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, they're gonna have Dark Zone events, which sounds really interesting and sounds like some cool community type feature, community type stuff. Overall, I love what I've heard so far about the free updates. The actual DLC itself sounds pretty underwhelming, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, it just seems like basic expansions. I mean, they are kind of vague on what the problem is like the trailer, like especially a lot of this information gets revealed in, is like the actual expansions that you're paying for are very vague on what you're going to be getting. So it's like it's just more interesting to talk about the free updates and whatnot.
Yeah,
I will admit though, I do like the idea of them supporting the game. Obviously, we've been talking about this, supporting the game for a while. Like, obviously, throughout the year with free updates and paid updates, so you get a bit of both. So I think it's a good way to do it. I'm curious, though, of how much content is going to be in these expansions or not. Because, that shooter RPG that must not be named did something very similar, but I don't think it's going to be the same level. But we'll see. We'll have to see, though. But I am very interested in the free the DLC that they have announced.
Yeah, I mean, right out the gate, it already looks like this game is going to have more free content than that other shooter. So there is like they get credit for that. And like I said, because I've been scouring, like the reviews have all been positive, right? Mm-hmm. Like pretty much, I think it has like an 85 on Metacritic right now. But I've also been looking at the Reddit page, and the Reddit page, obviously, like people have complained about certain stuff. Like there were these things called Phoenix points that you get after you hit level 30, after you hit max level, and then you use it to purchase stuff. And people were just complaining about how it's not that loot. It's not balanced very well because there's certain things that can only be bought with Phoenix points, but by the time you get to the point where you have Phoenix points, those things are outclassed. So people were complaining about that, but it's just stuff that can easily be fixed, right? I haven't heard any complaints so far about the core game. Okay, well, that's not true. One key complaint that I have heard is about the Dark Zone itself. It's a really cool idea implemented pretty poorly, aka the Sony special. And
yes, go on.
Because and this is something that I noticed when I played the beta, there is really no reason to go rogue. It's just not worth it. The downsides to going rogue significantly outweigh the positives of going rogue. And then when people don't go rogue, it kind of kills the whole excitement of the Dark Zone. So, there have been some complaints about the game, but overall, the consensus has been positive. So I'm looking forward to seeing this game grow, and
hopefully it goes on sale because it's expensive as fuck right now.
It's so expensive right now. That's the main thing. Obviously, that's the main thing that's stopping me.
That's more of a problem with current gen games than just this game in particular.
Yeah, but specifically in Canada.
Yeah, specifically in Canada. But pretty cool stuff. Hope to see more. Next, Alex got revealed for Street Fighter V and a bunch of cool images and stuff like that. One thing I thought that was kind of funny is in one of the images, he's got like the R. Mika color swirl, but it's in a different color.
Okay.
Like it's just a weird it seems like they're reusing the effect, right? But
they use it for every character.
It shows up. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow, am I stupid? Forget what I just said. All right, I'm gonna just pass this off to you because apparently I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Okay, so they revealed Alex. He looks pretty similar to his Street Fighter 3 version. He looks a little more. He looks a little wilder, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean by that.
Yeah, in Street Fighter 3, he looked very like chill and calm and cool and stuff. But now he looks kind of especially the hair by the side, it just makes him, and his expression in a lot of these images makes him look wild. Yeah. One funny thing though is that Street Fighter 4 is set chronologically before Street Fighter 3, right? So Alex is younger in this game than he was in 3. However, he looks almost 20 years older in these images, and I think, and this goes back to the fact that he looks so much wilder and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he also looks bigger, and he looks so much bigger in this game. But anyway, in terms of actual gameplay, unfortunately, we don't have a trailer. Hopefully, we have one by the time I'm uploading the footage for this podcast. But as of recording, we don't have a gameplay trailer. They did go over some gameplay details. His V skill is called Overhaul. Yeah. It's described as Alex stretching. He stretches, gets ready to hit extra hard. After doing this, Alex's next move will damage the opponent as if it were a counter hit. Yeah. If the attack misses or gets blocked, the effect vanishes. This sounds like a pretty cool V skill. I mean, obviously, it all depends on how long the wind-up is. If it's, like, really long, then he can't use it. Because here's the thing, Alex is a grappler, right? So most characters are going to be trying to keep distance from him. So in that time that they've kept the distance, he can use, if the wind-up on this thing isn't too long, he can use that time to build it up so he has it charged up, and then he, like, fishes with, say, a sweep, for example, because the counter-hit sweep actually guarantees, it's one of the few ways in the game to guarantee a hard knockdown. So, this could be a really cool V skill. Having a character who can guarantee counter hits is a really cool idea. So, we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah. Overall, I like the sort of the gameplay that it seems like the style of character seems to fit very well, and overall, I like the way he looks. I like his more wild approach. But yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm also interested to see if we're gonna get an official price, like comparison to like actual money versus fight money when he comes out.
Yeah. One sec though. There's still a couple other things. His V trigger. They have his V trigger is a clothesline attack that sounds very similar to the focus attacks from Street Fighter 4.
Okay.
The attack can be charged. It parries one attack during its charge time. If fully charged, it will break the guard of a blocking opponent and allow for a follow-up attack. So it literally is a focus attack. It's hopefully it's not because you know how the V skills, the V gauges, you have some characters with 2, some characters with 3. His sounds like something that you want to be using frequently in a match. So hopefully it's a 2, not a 3. Because like Bison's, for example, takes forever to build up. However, when he activates it lasts for a very long time. So that offsets how long it takes. If Alex requires 3, then this is something that you could probably use only once a round. So that I'm not too fond of that. But hey, we'll see. We'll see when the game when he actually launches. We don't have a release date for him yet. We do know that he's going to cost 100,000 fight money, and I think they said how much it was going to cost in dollars, but I can't remember, and I don't feel like looking it up right now. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Some other notes, because there's going to be a big patch. Coming with Alex in March, they're gonna add a challenge mode that has a bunch of tutorials that covers beginners, intermediate, and advanced stuff for beginners. It has a character tutorial, so 16 videos that go over each individual character. It has trials, which have combos for every single character, and completing trials will also gain you fight money. It has the in-game shop, which allows you to use your hard-earned fight money to buy DLC characters, story mode costumes, and new colors. Because there's an image of Nekali selecting color 11, and as of right now, there is no color 11.
There is no color 11.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it just allows you to buy all the colors, because survival mode can kiss my ass.
It's like if I'm still being fair though, survival mode was still the one thing that I enjoyed a lot of Street Fighter 5 when I first bought it. Like, to be honest, it's just a grind. It's
such a grind. I enjoyed survival mode until I made it to level 27 on normal, which the maximum is 30. I made it to level 27 and lost to Zangief, and I was like, screw this shit.
Fuck, you lost to Zangief too.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. How we both got fucked by Zangief in like the last couple
Zangief is the pop stomper. So and the Gatekeeper. So yeah, that really pissed me off. There's gonna be an online rematch option as well. However, this is weird. So okay, this is how it goes. The description goes: salty from a close loss online, want revenge. Players can now play a 2 out of 3 sets in ranked match, provided both players accept the rematch. And I'm like, why would the other player accept the rematch?
Yeah, if they were stupid, but sure.
Like, I don't understand. This is such a half measure. It's like either give us the ability to have 2 out of 3 sets. I see absolutely no downside to having 2 out of 3 sets in ranked matches, or don't give us the ability to have 2 out of 3 ranked matches. But then this half and half, it's like, okay, because like the loser will always ask for a rematch. Okay, outside of you absolutely getting crushed by your opponent, like double perfected or something like that, I'm 100% sure the loser will always ask for a rematch, especially in close matches. However, if the winner knows that he got lucky,
like, he's gonna want to fuck off and like, no, that was all skill.
Yeah, so I don't see the use of this. But hey, you know what? I don't see the use. I was gonna say I'll give Capcom the benefit of the doubt, but that's not true. I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Don't lie to our audience, Fawaz. Jeez.
Yeah, I'll just keep it real, man. Like they lost the benefit of the doubt when they launched Street Fighter V. So we'll see how this plays out. But as of right now, it seems like a full-on half measure. So yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. Honestly, like I like what I'm seeing with Alex overall. I just he's one of the least interesting characters for me that I know is coming out. So
Really,
yeah, personally. Like I mean from a design design aesthetic. Not playing aesthetic, from a design aesthetic. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm usually more interested in the designs overall. To be honest.
Makes sense.
Because I'm not good at fighting games. I get my ass kicked. And if we ever do play Street Fighter V, you will see how bad I really am.
Oh, sorry. Actually, before I forget, the other thing they're adding is 8-player lobbies. So that's another reason why I didn't touch the online, was because I really like having like a lobby with a couple of friends, and we're all playing, chatting, talking shit, and all that stuff. So now we can finally do that. With this,
oh
with this
god,
pack.
That means now you are gonna actually see me play Street Fighter. Oh no.
So yeah, then whenever this patch launches is probably when I'll finally get back into Street Fighter V and actually buckle down and start learning Kami. Yeah.
Well, me, it's gonna be Birdie. Birdie. I don't understand how Birdie ended up being my... Anyway, let's move on to the next piece of news. So Battleborn details for the Season Pass got announced.
Yeah, this is actually really interesting. Now, first of all, we all know, any consistent listener on this show knows we love nothing more than shitting on Battleborn.
Oh, absolutely.
However, this season pass, when they announced the season pass, first, okay, let me just get into it. So, the season, they also detailed the post-launch content, right? So how it goes is that Battlebond will be adding 5 new characters after release to players for free, bringing the total of the roster to up to 30. Right. The first character is Alani, described as a member of the Eldritch faction who was raised as a healer but forced to be a warrior. The update explains her powers will focus around controlling water and healing team members. Alani will be available to PS4 players who participate in the upcoming open beta as an instant unlock. Right. While she will be available later after launch across all platforms in a future update. Okay. So they also said that they're gonna have all new multiplayer modes are gonna be free, new maps will be free, balance updates will be free, and they'll add new various community features. In terms of paid content, there will be the season pass for Battleborn will consist of 5 content packs, with each retailing for $5, including 1 new story operation each, exclusive hero skins, and tons. The story operations will provide various new PvE missions that will be highly replayable solo, quote unquote, but also available for players to try through either online or split screen co-op modes with friends. The season pass for Battleborn will cost $20. Get players all 5 upcoming content packs for the price of 4, for you mathematicians out there. The season pass will also be included as part of the game's digital deluxe edition, which will include both the base game, the season pass, bonus customization option, cosmetic items for $75, providing a savings of $10 in total when purchased separately.
Yeah.
Now for my actual opinions on this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but a very long time ago, Blizzard announced that all the characters. Okay, and first of all, I want to apologize ahead of time because I genuinely hate making these comparisons.
You really say it doesn't really come off though.
It doesn't come off that way, right? But it's the easiest comparison to make because, truth be told, there's absolutely nothing like Battleborn on the market. The more that I've looked into this game, the more I've looked into Overwatch, the more I've realized that Battleborn is a MOBA. Battleborn is a MOBA in the first person perspective. Especially after I played Smite with Jason, it made me realize just how much of a MOBA Battleborn was. Now it's not like it's not. Okay, let me not say it's a MOBA. It has a lot of MOBA elements.
Yeah, MOBA.
I would say
elements.
About 80% of this game is like MOBA elements.
Well, that's the biggest thing is that when I was making the jokes about it, here comes another hero shooter. A hero shooter is very similar to a MOBA in a lot of ways, just from a shooter perspective.
Yeah,
but
it's the only one of its kind though, because Overwatch doesn't have like serious MOBA elements, and that's really those are the two, right? Those are the two that you think of when you think of like the hero shooter stuff. I guess there's also that Paladins game from the dude that made Smite, but I mean let's not talk about that game right now. When I don't know if you remember, but at the time they hadn't officially confirmed, but they hinted at the fact that DLC characters would not be free because they announced that if you take part in the PlayStation beta, the gamers who take place in the PlayStation beta will get Alani for free, implying that that everybody else was going to have to pay for it.
Right.
Now they've changed that and they're like that they will get her first, whereas everyone else will get her later. So I genuinely believe that they originally intended to charge us for the DLC characters. Think about it. There are 5 content packs with the season pass, and there are 5 post-launch characters. I genuinely believe the characters they were going to charge us for the characters. However, and this is 100% speculation, I do feel like, and I said this when it happened, when Overwatch made when Overwatch were like their characters are going to be free, I honestly feel like that put pressure on Gearbox, and it was the final push they needed to release to make the characters free. Now, this goes back to another discussion that we had a very long time ago about how I feel like DLC is changing and a lot more companies are giving us more free content. See, at this point, free maps is pretty much a given now. Think about that for a second. Almost every single game now, outside of the obvious people like Call of Duty and stuff, almost every single multiplayer game now, it goes without saying that the maps are going to be free. And now we have these 2 games that are like, okay, well now the characters are going to be free as well. So. And we spoke a little while ago about the Division, and a lot of the stuff, like the Division has like a lot of free stuff coming as well. I mean, obviously we don't know we don't know how big this stuff is going to be, but I do feel like developers are starting to get better at gauging what should be charged and what should be free.
Yeah, no. I think it's a good step forward, obviously, and I am interested to see like more content from Battleborn. It's funny we do make the comparisons, but Battleborn and Overwatch are very, very different in style and obviously tone and just how the games are designed. Yeah. And I still stay by this fact, like, I am going to be getting Overwatch for sure.
Oh, you're getting Overwatch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I'm definitely going to be getting Overwatch, but I will admit that I think Battleborn is going to have more content in it. Just in general, So that is just a personal thing where it's just the Overwatch interests me a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean. I'm glad that they are doing this, and it's funny because I did joke about it as well. How like considering all the Borderlands 2 DLC, I was just kind of expecting that characters were going to be you're going to have to pay for them.
Exactly.
So I find yeah, this is a kind of a good surprise.
Uh-huh.
But maybe it's kind of a thing where it's like it's not just Overwatch, but also like Paragon as well was like free characters and whatnot. It's just kind of I find it funny how it's like yeah it's weird that it's like free heroes, free characters, yeah we're all good guys here.
Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing I'd like to say on this.
Mm-hmm.
I just because I do feel like I shit on them a little too much. So I just want to say that I genuinely think Battleborn is going to be a very, very fun game.
Mm-hmm.
I played the closed technical test and I had a lot of fun in it. My only complaint was that I couldn't get into games faster. That was it. That was my only complaint. Okay, I had some slight gameplay complaints here and there, but like overall, I had a lot of fun with it. And even Jay Streets. Sorry, I'm gonna put you on blast right now. But like Jay said, he was like that. He has no interest in this game. We played it, and here's the funny thing: we're playing the game, and he's talking about how he has no interest in this game. But then I'm hearing him laughing and having fun and all that stuff. So I genuinely believe this is going to be a very, very fun game when it launches. My issue has always been the marketing, not the game itself. I've had faith in this game being good for a very long time now, ever since I touched that closed technical test.
Yeah.
I've had faith in this game being good. So my issue was always the marketing, and I feel like if they marketed this game better... Anyway, let me not get into that right now. But just in summary, I will probably end up getting Battleborn. The question is whether or not I will get it at launch. That's the only thing that is up for debate right now, is whether or not I'll get it at launch. And now hearing that the characters are going to be free, I'm probably going to just buy it at launch, because my original intention was to wait for the Game of the Year edition down the line, and then just buy that and be done with it. That's what I did with Borderlands, and it worked out really well for me, right? So I was thinking about doing the same thing with this. However, hearing this makes me think I'm probably going to buy this game at launch. So May is going to be the year that is going to be the month that I go broke, because I'm probably going to buy this and Overwatch in May. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not 100% yet, but probably.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from Battleborn, we've got some more interesting news. Sony gives a price and a release date for the PSVR, and it actually surprised a lot of people in a relatively good way. $400 for the PSVR.
Relatively is the keyword.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing, Fawaz, though. At the moment, it is the cheapest VR that you can purchase.
Yeah, that was why I said relatively.
Like $400 for a VR is still really expensive, but considering
it's a PS4.
I know. I'm aware of that, for
No. I'm not challenging you. I'm just stating.
Yeah, it is the same price as around the same price as a PS4. But considering that the Oculus is $600 and
Valve
the
HTC is
$800, that's not too bad. I mean, I would have been. There's something that I'm going to point out though that's a little bit sneaky, but and they gave the release date for I think about October-ish.
Yeah, October. Yeah. October's the release date.
Honestly, like I've jumped in and out on VR. VR doesn't really interest me a whole lot, but I am happy that it seems like compared to some of the other prices for VR content, I am actually like, okay, at least you attempted to make it a little bit more affordable. I'm saying a little, not a whole lot, but a little more affordable. I'm just more like, if you're trying to sell this as something that people can actually attain, and not just people who have money shooting out of their pockets, then what kind of games are we going to get? And what kind of stuff? Because as much as I am interested in, like if you think of popular VR, I always think of the first-person horror games where you walk around and you move your head, right? And it's like that's interesting, but it's oversaturated now because that's all you see in, especially for Oculus. That's all you see. So I'd like to see, like, hopefully, if Sony's going to try and push this, I want them to push more different games that use this VR effectively and interestingly. Honestly, like, I'm going to say, you're going to be like, what the fuck, Tanner? Is like the only game that has interested me personally that is in VR is this really odd game called Summer Lessons. And that just, because I'm interested in it because it's trying to find a way to tell a personal story from a VR perspective, and that I find kind of interesting. Okay. It's a little bit weird because it's an anime game, and it's about teaching a Japanese girl how to speak English, right? And it's you're the teacher and she's the student, and it's about how you teach her and whatnot. But it's supposed to be like there's supposed to be underlining themes and whatnot. But I find it interesting because it's like if we can push more interesting ideas into VR, then I can see it becoming more popular. But at the moment, it's still kind of But what I'm interested to see what you think, Floss.
Yeah, one thing of note before I get into my opinion is that you if you don't have a PlayStation camera, you have to add it to the
Yes,
cost.
I was going to point that out. Is that you do have to have a PlayStation 4i.
I'm where I've always been with PlayStation VR. I do not care. VR in general, I do not care. Like just give me my standard games. And sure, I sound like an enemy of progress, right?
Yeah.
But like because I was optimistic with what was this crap called with motion controls last generation, and I got screwed. So I'm like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again. So yeah.
I'm sure you'll get fooled again eventually, Fawaz. You might as well just accept it now.
I'm like, nah, B, not with VR anyway. Like, I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to see how this plays out. I have absolutely no interest in it. Because, here's the other thing is that even aesthetically speaking, it looks absolutely ridiculous. And like, just the concept behind it just does not excite me. And I don't know if I mentioned this on a podcast before, but I saw this one video on Facebook about these things called VR arcades, right? Mm-hmm. And in it, you would like it was like an actual like a you know you have those laser tag rooms. It's like a little room. You put on your little VR goggles, and then the room becomes whatever it is that you're doing, right? And then you play. Like VR for me feels like something that you do on like a birthday. You and a couple friends, you go out to the VR arcade and you go and you play. Because for me, I'm like, okay, and this is exactly what you're saying, is that at the end of the day, all we can do with like a VR peripheral is like head movements, right? At the end of it, we can't. Yeah. The full immersion won't come unless you're doing something like the VR arcades, which is what we're aiming for, right? And then the VR arcades type stuff is just something that is not capable in someone's home. So for me, I'm just like, I'll wait and see. I'll wait for one of my friends to buy it, see how it goes with them. Wait to hear like the general opinions, and then to see if this is just a fad before I start even thinking about it. Because right now I see a VR headline, I keep scrolling. Literally, the only reason why I'm covering this stuff is because I do a podcast.
I think the price comparison to the other VRs is interesting nonetheless, though.
The price comparison is very interesting. It costs half of what Valve's thing costs, but at the end of the day, man, I'm like, that's still $400. That's $50 more than an Xbox One, and $50 less than a PS4 in Canada. But keep in mind, that's also the American price. So no, that is actually a PS4 in America. It's probably going to be $450, maybe even more.
Yeah, I know. Think about it. Yeah. Honestly though, my stance with PSVR is like, okay, look, it is pretty expensive, and you haven't sold me on any games yet. Try and give me more games. Like, it's basically like there's not enough in the market at the moment that interests me personally. Yeah. Like I told, like, basically the one game that kind of interested me is Summer Lessons. But other than that, there's not really much that's really standing out. So if Sony wants to push this, then they really need to push games that, one, obviously use the peripheral to its advantage and uses it in a creative way that hasn't been done a million times before. Mm-hmm. So that will be interesting to see. Yeah. But moving on from that, we got an official trailer for the Automatron DLC, which is the first Fallout 4 DLC pack. Yep. It showed a bunch of new stuff. Obviously, new robots, customizable. It actually detailed a couple things where it's like you can apparently obviously customize your robots in like the style of robot, whether it's like a big like Armitron or just a one of those walking guys. You can also design like the colors that the robot has, and also what voice it has, like what kind of voice it has, which I actually thought was really, really cool. Yeah. And I actually didn't know this, but you do actually get a quest line with this DLC.
Yeah, they did a very bad job of describing that to us when they
When we
announced. It's so funny because when they announced the season pass, the general consensus was negative, right? But
yeah.
then a lot of people, when they released this trailer, a lot of people in the comment section were like, "Well, you sold me, Bethesda," because it's like the description for this really didn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like from the description, I didn't know that there was going to be a
Quest
an
line.
actual campaign. I thought it was just it was just going to be like you could make your robot and you can customize it. And then I think they like briefly mentioned that there was going to be like some villain type dude. But this actually looks like an in-depth obviously this is a trailer. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
this might be like a 10-minute side mission, but it looks a lot more in-depth than they made it out to be. And the customization on the robots is pretty cool. Yeah, there's a wide variety of robot types you can make, which is awesome. You can make like giant hulking robots. You can make like floating robots. Overall, it looks cool. It looks cool. Nothing else to say.
Yeah,
There's also some cool looking weapons. There's like a buzzsaw type.
Yeah, I think there's going to be like a lightning chain gun or something like that. I think was in the description somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lightning gun. Excuse me. Overall, though, looks like an interesting first DLC for Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't care because I haven't even beaten the main game but it looks like something cool that I will pick up after it's all said and done.
Yeah, for sure. But cool stuff, cool stuff. Finally, our last piece of news is new Hearthstone expansion coming soon. Whisper of the Old Gods.
Whispers of the Old Gods. So you want to take first swing at this?
I'll take first swing. Yes, more Cthulhu, please. Look, Bloodborne did it, and Hearthstone is doing like we need more Cthulhu lore. Cthulhu lore is so damn cool. What?
Who was the first person that did it?
I don't know who's the first. What? I said Bloodborne as well.
Oh, okay, Bloodborne. Yeah. That was what I missed.
Yeah. I know there's has been Cthulhu games and whatnot. Like Call of Cthulhu is one that comes to mind, but it's like I want more Cthulhu. So I like the new system and the new cards. It seems like the new thing that they're pushing is a decks that are based around one legendary, which is Cthulhu, who I apparently, after watching a couple videos, is a big player in like the Warcraft lore and whatnot.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to do some quick lore. So I'm gonna try not to get too nerdy here. But like the old gods in general are they're very very Lovecraftian. Like they wear their Lovecraftian influences on their sleeves. They are at the root of a lot of the evil stuff that happened in Azeroth. The main thing that they've done was that they led to the corruption of Netharian, who we all know as Deathwing. Because they've been imprisoned. They've all been imprisoned, and they are constantly trying to, in typical evil imprisoned monster fashion, they're constantly trying to free themselves. And how they go about it is that they whisper. The creatures start hearing voices. Like Deathwing kept hearing voices, and then eventually it drove him to madness. So they, you start to hear their voices in your head. Thus, whispers of the old god. So I love how a lot of the elements of their story are apparent in the gameplay because in typical Lovecraftian monster fashion, there's like a bunch of cults that worship them and try to bring back and try to free them from their prisons and such. There's a bunch of cards like the Beckoner of Evil, which buffs the Cthulhu no matter where he is in the deck. There's the Twilight Elder, which also buffs it no matter where it is in your deck. So I thought that was a really cool implementation of that idea. Overall though, a couple of other things that they mentioned. We got more deck slots on Monday.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's gonna be 134 new cards. It's gonna be launching in late April or early May. The expansion. Let me see. When you log in, there's going to be a promotion period, right? When you log in during that promotional period, you get 3 card packs. the first card pack that you open for Whispers of the Old God will always have Cthulhu in it. So pretty much everyone is going to have this card.
Yes, and I think that's actually a really, really good thing, because it's like, if you want to promote building Cthulhu-based decks, then you gotta have Cthulhu.
Yeah. So they're gonna give everyone Cthulhu-based deck. They're gonna give everyone Cthulhu, and we still don't have any information about the patch, but standard format is going to launch with Whispers of the Old God. So late April or early May is going to be the end of Dr. Boom's reign of evil.
Yes.
And the patch is probably going to be launching around that time as well. Overall, we didn't get too much actual information about because they didn't reveal a bunch of cards. There's no new what's this thing called? There's no new card text, no new ability like discover
or inspire or something.
Or inspire. As of yet, at least, there's no new ability, which is fine. They don't need to add one with every new expansion. But yeah, overall, we don't know. We didn't get a lot of new information. Like, a lot of this stuff we knew. Like, we didn't know the specifics, but we knew that it was launching like late April, early May. It kind of sucks that we didn't get an official release date. But overall, good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, and pre-orders are open for anyone. For all you cravers out there, you can pre-order it. You can currently pre-order it, and you get like a card back and all that.
It's actually a pretty sick card back because it has like an eye on it that actually moves and shit. So it's probably one of the better card backs to get. So I'd recommend it if you are interested. But yeah, overall good stuff. I'm really interested to see what other cards are in this set. Just so I can start modifying some of my older decks. Because right now the one it's funny because it's like the one deck that I like using the most right now is my Secret Paladin deck.
Oh my god, you scumbag!
Well, it's not exactly a Secret Paladin deck, but it's kind of, because it's more of a Secret Paladin mixed with Silverhand deck. Because I like what I like doing is I like spamming the silver hands and then playing that one card that buffs everyone, all your silver
stuff.
Yeah. Because holy shit, is that awesome. But it falls apart real fast if they have a good AoE. But anyway, cool stuff. I am excited. So our question of the day, before we wrap things up, is from Jay Streets, as always. And it is, imagine if you would, the Game Smash format change to a late night talk show format. Which two guests or music guests from gaming would you like to appear on the show? Separate answers, please. All right, how about you? You want to take this away, Fawaz?
Okay, you know what? I will. No, I've got nothing.
You got nothing? I have something for the a music guest. I apologize if I mispronounce his name slightly, but it's Darren Korb, who did the music from Bastion and Transistor. I would love to meet him and just hear how he, how his process is, how he came up with some of the music tracks that he came up with, because just beautiful, beautiful music and whatnot. And I feel like some of his music is very underappreciated to a certain extent, because I want more people to know about this guy, because he is a really, really good composer, like really, really good. So I would love to have a little interview kind of thing with him. As far as a gaming guest, it would be more interesting to interview someone from. For me, it would be more interesting to interview someone from an indie developer.
Yeah,
because I feel like indie developers to a certain extent are more down to earth than some of the higher up developers, because it's everything that they're saying is being watched. So if they say something kinda critical, they can get in a lot of shit. I don't know. Honestly, I would love to meet with people who from Yacht Club, the guys who made Shovel Knight. I've seen interviews with them before, and they seem like a great, awesome people to just kind of talk and hang around with. So yeah, I would say that anyone from maybe Yacht Club or Supergiant Games, and Darren Korb. So that's my answer for now.
Okay, yeah. For me, I would go for musical guest. I'll go with Utada Hikaru.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she did the excuse me. She did the theme song for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep it real. I had like the biggest crush on her when I was younger, and yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Or maybe it wouldn't because it'd probably get really uncomfortable and awkward very fast. But hey,
The language barrier might be a bit of uncomfortable because that means like, okay, if we're doing this late night show, it's like, all right, we have to have a translator on standby, or else we're not gonna fucking understand anything.
Yeah, but yeah, she'd definitely be the musical guest. I agree with you in terms of but I'm gonna take a very different route with the gaming guests because yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the indie developers would be the cool people to have on the show. Mm-hmm. But personally, I want Peter Molyneux on the show so I can punch him in the face, just straight up. Punch him in the face and just never stop punching until my show gets cancelled. Yeah, and if I can't get my hands on Peter Molyneux, then okay, no. I was gonna go with the CEO of Ubisoft, but I can't even pronounce his name. So I'm going to go with there's actually so many from so many different like parts of gaming that I would like to talk to. Like honestly, I would go. I think Ono, Yoshiro Ono. Yeah, I think he would make a very nice guest. Yeah, I think he'd have some very Yoshinoro Ono. My bad. Yeah. I think he'd have some interesting. I mean, obviously we'd need a translator.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to pick his brain on like the development of certain games, and he just seems like a very funny guy to have around. And I'm gonna cheat and pick one more person that I would have, and it would be Keiji Inafune, just so I could ask him what the hell happened with Mighty Number 9. Seriously, dude, what happened?
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. What's going on with Mighty Number 9? It's been how many years?
Like 3 years now, and we still don't have a release date.
Oh God. Yeah. Honestly, if I you're talking about people that you would kind of like ask the difficult questions. I would love to meet with David Cage and ask him what the fuck with Beyond Two Souls.
It's like, I
was like, so when you were writing the script for Beyond Two Souls, when you wrote down underwater ghost space, you didn't think this is a bit silly. It's like I would really like to know what's going
on. God, that is. I almost want to play this game just so I could understand.
You need to I'm gonna give a shout out to one of my favorite channels, Two Best Friends Play. Or the Switcher. They do an amazing playthrough of Beyond Two Souls, and I would highly recommend anyone watch that because
you know what? I think I'll watch that instead of playing the game.
Yeah, because it is a good like let's play of how fucking crazy David Cage is. But anyway, with that high note, I think we're gonna have to wrap things up. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you leave a comment in the comment section, we'll make sure to answer in the next podcast. And as always, this was William Liberty and
Fuaz Muhammad Yusuf,
and we'll see you guys next time.